Welcome to Everything Currency. This is a show where we talk about everything crypto and mo. I'm your host Jay, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this Avalanche ecosystem. Now today we've seen a correction. A lot of people are saying it dumped, but we're seeing a correction, and I'll tell you a little bit about this correction and why it's happening. But more importantly, I want to talk to you about this Bitcoin chart, and I want to talk to you also a little bit about Luxo. And if you haven't seen any of my Luxo videos, I'll put them in the cards. But Luxo is another coin that I am pretty bullish on, and I'm just wondering why the price is still so cheap, and I'm gonna tell you why it's still so cheap right now. So if you're excited about that, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let's just get right into it. So first things first, let's talk about this Avalanche thing. So Avalanche coins are dipping today. We see 25% on this. Joe is down 35%. Serpent's down 25%. All these Avalanche coins are dipping. Avalanche coins are down right now. Now, over the last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks or so, last week, these coins have been shooting up, barely had any correction. So this is going to be the first correction that we see. But also there's something else happening. A bunch of other platforms, Cello and FTM, are offering incentives for people to move their money over there. Now the FTM incentive is a little different. It's not going to play out for a long time, so people jumping in on the FTM, I think, is a little bit way too early for that, because that incentive is for the builders. So those people are going to build those platforms and try to have the TVL stay above a certain amount. Then they'll get those incentives, and then the community will get to figure out if they're going to get any of those incentives. Avalanche is all liquidity mining. You're getting those incentives, people like me and you, and they haven't even started yet. So for me, I think this is just the first correction. I'm not always right. What you do with your funds is your own responsibility. This is not financial advice, but I'm just letting you know what I think this dip is in the Avalanche ecosystem right now. Just a nice correction from, Serpa starting off, down here at $1, and then now it's like double that. You get what I'm saying? And that's the retracement. It was like 3 times that. So looking at the Bitcoin chart real quick. So normally I show you guys the charts with the log scale on. This is what the log scale would look like right here. The log scale would show that, hey, we're above the 236 Fibonacci level on the chart, but without the log scale off, we can see some interesting things on this chart. We are at the resistance of the 236. We didn't get above it, so we might have to come back down and bounce off the 382. That's pretty low though. If we were to zoom in here, and I drew another fib, we can see from the top here to the bottom here, we can see that we're right along the 0.5 Fibonacci level, coming back up to that level, and that is holding as support right there. So that's what we want to see. Basically, we want to see this level where we're at hold as support on this Fibonacci chart. It's a very important level. If it drops below this level, then that is a signal of we're going to go back down, possibly to these lower levels, and possibly to retest these lower levels, and we don't want to do that. And I don't think we're going to do that, because the stochastic RSI is getting over here down in the oversold area, and the weekly MACD is still on the bullish side, and it just crossed. This is barely like a week and a half since that thing has crossed right there. So overall, I'm still thinking, hey, we're in a nice uptrend. Right now we're going sideways on this level that I thought we were going to have resistance at, which was in between, this 45 and 50k level, having some nice resistance in between there. If we drop lower, then around 43k to 42k is where we want to see it hold. Let's talk about one of my favorite coins, Luxo, the bro. Right here is up. Let's refresh this and see where we're at. Right now it's up 6.5% right now at $10.68. So that's actually pretty cheap. The all-time high for this coin is $27. So it's still 61% down from where it was a month ago. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these tokens are completely beat up from the last little hype run that we just went through. It got down pretty low to around $6 from that price. But Luxo, in my opinion, is a very big token coming out with identity standards. So let's talk a little bit about that. Going to the website, this is what we have right here. Luxo is a blockchain infrastructure providing a series of standards and solutions for physical and digital consumer goods. So what I like about this is that, for one, Luxo is the next project from the creator of the ERC20. All the tokens on Ethereum, that standard, this guy wrote it. You know, he said a little bit of help from Vitalik, of course. And then the ERC 725, which is their new standard that they're writing, which is pretty dope. So they got universal public profiles, which is universal profiles make economic and verifiable interactions possible on the blockchain. Like, so we need this right now. Like I said, there needs to be a way for people to know that it's you. You know, when we have all these lending platforms, we need a way to know that it's you. Uncollateralized lending is just going to make DeFi explode, and it starts with this. It starts with universal public profiles, digital certificates as well, and cultural currencies having to do with physical goods, regular NFTs, like the NFTs you're seeing right now, fashion NFTs. They're also doing a lot of stuff with fashion NFTs, and I'm like, you know me, I'm like, hey, look, okay, that's dope that they're building that, but who's gonna use it, right? Like, who's gonna want those standards? Who's gonna want those products? And when you go to their About Me, you see that, yeah, here's Fabian Vogelsteller, the guy who wrote the ERC 720. You got the other CEO. I'm not even going to try to say her name because I know I will butcher it, but Miss Hernandez right there. But the advisors that know, just the fact that they know what Luxo is in this whole climate of NFTs being called the next big thing for fashion. You got Nike, Vice President of Digital. You got Chanel, President of Europe. You got Image at Chanel. You got High Snow Bridey. So you got Ethereum Foundation, you got the Energy Web Foundation. Now this one, in my opinion, is going to be a big one, because if you're going to be able to sell your energy online or, you know, digitally and stuff like that, they need a way to verify that it's you, and it's there's going to have to be a lot of that stuff behind there. But also CFO of BlackRock, former director of BlackRock, Near Foundation guy. Man, so I'm just blurting through all these. Come and do your research on Luxo. It's looking like it's at a steal of a price, in my opinion, right now, being at only $150 million. This thing is in mainnet, still like in that like ICO phase, kind of. They're out of ICO, but they're in that phase of mainnet where they're just getting things going. Now there's already projects and stuff like that are dropping NFTs and stuff on top of Luxo, early adopters, things like that. You can go ahead and check out their Twitter for more information on, like, you know, projects like RNE20, which I talked about on this channel as well, is built on top of Luxo. I'll put a link for that in the cards. But Luxo is one of those projects that, for some reason, I just can't put my hand on it, but it should be further than where it is right now, in my opinion. Like, Luxo the bro. So as physical NFTs becomes more of a thing, we're going to need a standard for that. There's going to need to be a way for people to like scan a purse or scan a backpack or something like that and know that it's the original one. These are the type of things that I'm pretty sure like Nike and Chanel want to work on. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, Caroline Drucker, the Instagram head of strategic partnerships. Now, Instagram is going to integrate NFTs, and in my opinion, they're not going to do it on top of Ethereum. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Because they're going to want to do something that's more of their base layer and probably want to start from their own stuff. And they might do it, you know, with the, you know, what Luxo's building here. They got a strategic partnership head on the advisory board over here at Luxo. So I can pretty much go on about these advisors forever. So we got, hey, what they're building is dope. The token is needed to keep this whole thing together. The token is needed to buy and sell these things. It's needed to keep the network up and running because it's an infrastructure tool and stuff like that. So DeFi and NFTs and, you know, virtual digital identities is going to be big. And I think, you know, when this guy drops his standard for all of that, yeah, I think people are going to pay attention. Right now we're in ICO, so we'll see what happens coming soon. So what do you guys think about today's video? Starting off with Avalanche. Do you think it's over? You think Celo or FTM is going to take over all of the liquidity in Avalanche? Look, I'll tell you what's going to happen. If everybody switches blockchains, I will take that 180 million for myself. Like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, think positive and positive things will happen. RP to my boy Crypto Roots. Y'all have a good Monday, probably Tuesday now. See y'all tomorrow. Till next time, peace.